Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Preemptive Strike Spoilercast for the surprisingly wonderful series Cobra Kai and its first season. I'm going to introduce everybody really fast. You got me, Bane, and Drillbit.
Yo.
Yep. Renegade Operative.
Yo, what's going on?
Hades Manicore.
Cobra Kai never die.
Cobra Kai never die. Antihero.
We strike first.
Exactly. And Kaneki.
Hiya! I'm surprised nobody referenced Sweep the Leg or get him a body bag.
Man.
Mexicans can't play karate. They can't do that.
Hey now.
All right, everybody, let's begin this
Racism.
podcast. Oh. Let's begin this podcast with a quick retrospective. Have you guys watched any of the original Karate Kid movies, and what were your thoughts on them? I'm even going to include the remake. I'm going to mention the remake. I loved the first film when that came out. When I first saw it on like DVD when that came out. A little too young to see it in theaters, but I fucking loved it, and I haven't seen it for about 10 years, and that's the only one I've seen.
You didn't see 2 or 3?
Sad. Actually, I saw the next Karate Kid, which I thought was the sequel. But now looking into it, I was fucking wrong, and I need to watch 2 and 3.
Yeah. 2's good. The third one's kind of mess since it recycles a lot of the plot of the first one, but it has some decent stuff in it.
Yeah.
I only seen the first movie and I thought it was pretty cool. It gives people, life lessons about karate, how hard it is for like bully kids and everything. So I really did like the message that they tried to convey when, Daniel met Miyagi and he tried to teach him his way of life and all this shit that like migrated over to Cobra Kai, obviously, because that's a new age of kids having all this stuff going on. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I haven't seen the sequels, so I'm out of the loop for Karate Kid 2 and 3. And also,
Yeah.
I think there was like a female version of
Yeah,
Karate
that was the
Kid.
next
Next
Karate Kid.
Karate.
Was it-
Karate Kid.
Was
That
it
was true.
good or it's trash?
It's the worst of the sequels.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like it too much.
And I know that Jaden Smith was also in Karate
Yeah,
Kid.
That's the remake.
It's not even
Yeah.
karate. He's teaching him kung fu.
Oh well. I mean,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jackie
It's
Chan.
okay.
Jackie Chan seemed like a really good choice to fill in that mentor role, but yeah, I haven't seen that movie, and people said, it's kind of mediocre, it's kind of okay, but that's what I heard so far.
I'd say watch it just for Jackie Chan.
Okay, like if you take the name Karate Kid away from it, it's not that bad as a standalone film. Like Jackie Chan makes a good master, and there's some pretty good fights in it. I mean, it does talk about moving to a brand new country and having to adapt there.
Yeah, I can see that message. I mean, moving is quite difficult sometimes, so yeah.
Yeah, especially when you have the language barrier and all that, and new culture.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, anyone else for number one?
I seen. Oh, you go ahead, Hades.
Nah, damn it. Okay. I've seen the original. Obviously, I think the original Karate Kid's a classic, and I've seen the remake too. I honestly don't think the remake with Jaden Smith is that bad. Like, it's definitely not the worst rebooted thing I've ever seen in my life. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of people knock it down because it's getting constantly compared to the first one when they're just two completely different films.
Yeah.
I
You
seen
just get a Oh, sorry, my bad.
I seen the trilogy. Obviously, I enjoyed them except for the third one. It just like Drill said, it was basically like the first one with some twists, like Daniel kind of coming to the dark side a little bit, but then he like snapped out of it. And I didn't like the new karate. I mean, yeah, I like it, but I didn't like it when I saw the trailer. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I like this storyline. I mean, kid that is an outsider trying to fit in and gets bullied because he's very different. I like stuff like that.
Now, correct me if wrong, but part 3, isn't Daniel being like taught by a Cobra Kai member?
Terry
Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah, Terry
He-
Silver, because I remember like I saw some clips of a guy with like slick back hair teaching him how to hit a fucking wooden thing properly, and I'm like his
Yeah.
hand started bleeding. That's the only scene I really remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually reference it in Cobra Kai, since the tournament with him and Mike Barnes is the reason Cobra Kai got banned.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
He
Alright.
was more sick than Chris at this point.
Well, you never know. He might come back, but I guess we can move on to the second one.
There's
Kaneki.
there have been oh sorry, my bad.
I only see the first one. I didn't see the other sequels.
Yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, most of us are. Huh. You guys ready for question 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, what was your overall impression of Cobra Kai season 1? And I'm just gonna start us off here. Holy fuck! I expected it to be good. The trailer was great, and the first 2 episodes were great. And I was like, okay. I had to resub to YouTube Red because I was off it for a little while. I have not binged a show that fast in a very fucking long time. All 10 episodes are very well crafted and probably some of the most fun I've had watching TV in a while. What do you guys think?
If it was straight to DVD or Blu-ray, I'll buy that instantly because this is what we need for TVs nowadays. I haven't seen a TV quality show like this in a very, very long time. We usually get mediocre fucking garbage.
Yeah.
But for YouTube Red show, I was blown away that how good it was, especially like being canon towards the Karate Kid movie.
Right.
Especially the ending. The ending fucking shocked me to all hell.
That whole final episode was fucking intense.
Yeah.
Although I have a bit issue with the fighting scene in the final episode, but that didn't like, stop me for enjoying the episode. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah, I think the problem with the last episode is that it's rushed. It's cool to see the tournament, but I can't help but feel that everything to that point really got rushed just so those characters could fight. It was cool seeing them fight, and it was great also seeing like how the Cobra Kai members changed for better or for worse. But that last portion just felt like I wish it would have been like at least 10 or 20 more minutes longer.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would have preferred an extra episode.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts on it was it kind of feels like a nice parallel to the tournament in the first movie, except the roles are reversed, obviously. With the students from Cobra Kai and then from Miyagi, well, now being handled by Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
And see, of course, then we see the same dirty tricks from Cobra Kai since Hawk kicked Robbie in the back.
You know what I liked? I liked Diaz mocking Daniel with the crane kick. I thought that was really fucking good.
I got a fucking great laugh.
Like even his daughter said, "He stole your move."
It's like he
the
did.
first match.
He did.
Yeah, well, Diaz actually learned it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, what did y'all think about Cobra Kai winning that?
I honestly thought he would have lost.
It was.
Same here.
It was to be expected because obviously the show is called Cobra Kai, so it makes no sense for like Daniel to really take over. But it seems like his teachings is going to reflect on Robbie a bit more from what I've seen. So he might be like a very important character in season 2, I believe. Because it's like, the bad guy's son to Daniel is now his student. So I think that's the direction they're going. Ben, you were going to say something?
I was going to say, I think that, especially seeing how all these arcs kind of ended, I do feel like there's going to be a lot more conflict with, especially with Diaz next season. It's going to be, I'm going to more talk about that in a later question, but is everybody ready to go to the next question?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm
What
good
about
here as
you,
well.
Ian?
Oh yeah, my thoughts on it, like when I saw it on YouTube, the Cobra Kai, I didn't pay attention to it until you guys started talking about it, and then I looked at it and like, oh wait, this is Karate Kid, and then I just started watching it, and
Like,
I had a good time.
Like honestly, my first thoughts on it was, oh, this is YouTube Red. It's just gonna be like a cheap cash-in.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought so
no way
too.
they're gonna put in effort.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm surprised. It feels way too good for YouTube Red.
Same, I agree,
agree.
man.
I have some stuff to talk about that one, but we'll save that for the later question there.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. So, which character arcs did you guys like the most this season? I'm gonna say Diaz and Robbie, seeing them both kind of shift in different characters by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
very well.
I'd say Robbie's redemption is probably more significant because he's just a troubled kid with like parents that really don't pay attention to him that much, and and even Johnny seems like thinks that his life's going down the toilet until Daniel pretty much saves him and teaches him how to be balanced.
Yeah.
Like Diaz is kind of similar to Daniel in that he's just a new kid and that he's trying to fit in and he's having to deal with bullies. So it's kind of interesting how Diaz goes in a different direction than Daniel did in the first film.
I think both kids, they're going in like different directions, because at first Diaz was like, he's very shy and he gets beat up and shit, and then he's like overconfident, he knows what he's doing, he will fight dirty, and I think it was a stark reminder that when it comes to Cobra Kai, I think Johnny will realize that he kind of fucked up with the teachings. Because I do like the fact that the characters, they went from losers to out of control kids. And I think ultimately that is going to be a big theme for a lot of the characters. I think they're going to also try to do something with Kreese. But I know that's a later question, but we'll talk about him as we progress. But I think the characters were great. I really like the fact that Daniel also was not squeaky clean. There were portions where he was an asshole with increasing people's rent, and I thought that was like, yeah, even the original hero is someone that's hard to root for in this season.
He comes off as a snot as well there, like he thinks he's so good now.
He thinks Johnny is out to get him, and
Yeah.
he does the worst things possible to ruin Johnny's career.
Yeah.
I can
Even
see
I-
why, but still, it's like, holy shit. That whole issue in Reseda was just really hard to see.
It's like
Yeah.
kicking them while they're down. I didn't really like that when Daniel was
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like Resita's already in a hard place and Daniel just makes it worse.
Yeah.
don't
Also,
know,
Bane, you wanted to interject?
Oh yeah, I will say this. I do think seeing Johnny and Daniel kind of seeing they're kind of like losing their ways in different ways. If that makes sense. Daniel's probably lost a lot of his you'd say like his character, his good character when Miyagi died. And you can see him kind of getting back to that when he's there at the grave, kind of being the kid that he wanted, like Miyagi wanted him to be. But
Yeah.
as he got older, he lost a lot of that.
Yeah, and it seems like Johnny was okay with running away from his problems, as you can see with the whole kid thing, his wife, all the other shit that was going on. He was very reluctant to even help Diaz. And then you see his problems in the past sort of caught up with him with Kreese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he did see Kreese as a kind of a father figure until Kreese tried to choke him out.
And he's like, yeah, you were dead. Oh wait, you're not dead actually.
Maybe he probably just meant that metaphorically, like he was dead to him since he did try to kill him until Miyagi saved him.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so anyone else?
Well, I mean, obviously, the best character arc, Hawk. Duh.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you mean shit lip? Okay.
You mean shit lip, obviously.
The lip.
Yeah, like I felt really bad for him at first, but then he started to become way more cocky and then started to play dirty, so it was hard
The
to keep.
Hawk.
It's the
It was a
Cobra
bit-
Kai way, man.
It was a bit harder to root for him.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna go down that route as soon as he got like the mohawk, because like I said, the kids were getting like, that was funny too. Like he just walked in there, he's like, you know what? I don't even notice your lip anymore. Keep that mohawk, please.
Yeah.
His giant back tattoo that he has too.
Oh
Of
yeah,
a hawk.
He's got like
So-
the heavy D back tattoo.
Hell yeah.
MVP.
Fucking hell.
My favorite arc, is like I said, is Diaz and Robbie, because they're like this sad opposite of each other, and you see them as we go through the whole series. Like you can like see the little twist, like reverse the papers to each other, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is a twist right there. And
Yeah.
I felt more bad for Robbie, because obviously his parents didn't pay attention to him, and he just felt lonely until Daniel like gave his hand to him, and he started learning karate and started to learn to be a better person, be more humble. I actually like that as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I like everyone else's characters arc, but Diaz. Like Diaz didn't hook me, but like the other characters like hooked me in terms of their story because of Johnny. I'm guessing was it Johnny trying to change and become a better father to his son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Daniel is like, I'm guessing, going to save him by trying to be like the Mr. Miyagi to him as his mentor. And yeah, I can't wait to see what else happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll see more of Diaz's character arc in season 2. Since
think
he's meant to
Diaz-
be in.
I think he's going to be like the next Johnny in season 2.
Yeah,
I'm calling
same.
it.
Yeah, considering his character was parallel to Daniel in season 1, it's probably going to shift the other direction.
Well, that kind of easily segues into our next question. Do you guys want to go into it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you think the direction of Cobra Kai is going to be heading, since a second season has already been commissioned by YouTube?
Well,
Oh,
Hades
I got one
already
for this
talked
one.
about it. Like he mentioned that there's gonna be like a different sect of Cobra Kai now with Kreese.
I think, I think we're going to split off, and I do think it'll focus on Johnny, because if you see at the end when he gets a trophy, he does not look happy that he earned it this
Yeah.
way. I have this weird feeling that I think, he's going to really try to get Diaz to be a better person.
It's probably
Yeah.
gonna be too late at this point, because, like I said, there was Hawk with the illegal kick. There was Diaz. He also injured Robbie. I think what's going to happen is the kids is going to experience a dilemma of being too overconfident, because they don't have that same. Remember, Miyagi said you need balance, so you need good and bad in your life. Right now, they don't have balance. They just have what they know about Cobra Kai, which is strike first, strike hard, all that. Yeah,
No mercy.
no mercy.
No mercy.
So I think that this is going to factor into season 2 like a lot, and maybe Johnny will realize that his teachings really weren't the best for these kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're gonna probably see more of Kreese's influence starting to creep up on the kids, considering he's always taught them to show no mercy and show no mercy on the opponent.
Strike hard and all that.
He's gonna take over probably his business at one point. I assume there's gonna be one episode where Johnny's like on the street or something because Kreese said "fuck you."
Yeah, Kreese will take over hard, I think.
I mean, Kreese didn't even give a shit about Cobra Kai until Johnny actually started doing something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to say this before, but apparently the actor for Mike Barnes hinted that he was going to be in season 2, so we'll most likely see Terry Silver as well.
Was Barnes the kid that like was beating up Daniel in part 3?
Yeah, he basically was Terry Silver's best student.
That's gonna be interesting considering
Oh,
everyone's
man.
like all grown up now.
Yeah, I really want to see how Daniel's going to react to seeing Kreese back.
He's probably gonna
He's
say,
gonna go fucking nuts.
I'm gonna make you poor. I'm gonna raise your rent.
It's too damn high.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see some karate war soon, because I feel like the Cobra Kai is gonna face kind of like a civil war to each other. Especially
Yeah.
how Johnny wasn't happy to see him back. When I saw that scene, I'm just like, uh-oh, look who's
Like-
back in town.
Like, I honestly never expected we see Kreese back.
That took me by surprise, like tenfold at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Let me think. Do you think there's going to be any more returning characters, or maybe like we checked off all the big ones?
I wonder if Elizabeth Shue will come back as Allie. She's been hinted like 4 times in a fucking a film.
You mean the bitch girlfriend?
Yeah. One who had the husband they showed him.
It would be nice for her and Johnny to have some closure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, she hasn't done much in the last couple of years. She did that Death Wish movie, and she was in one scene of that.
Death Wish.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Please
Like the
don't
Charles
tell me.
Bronson Death Wish?
No, the new
I
one.
have-
Oh.
No, I like the
Never mind.
classics.
Oh,
Oh.
we're gonna talk about that new one.
Oh my god.
Oh,
But
but
she's not doing anything. She can make an appearance for an episode.
I
but
hope
you
she
see,
does though.
you guys see that Daniel's gonna start up the Miyagi dojo again.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I
realize
can't wait for that.
He's probably gonna get a bunch of new people wanting to join.
It'll
It's
probably
like-
be Robbie and his daughter that matter the most, though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with
Yeah.
you.
It's gonna be really awkward if Daniel's daughter and Diaz have to fight each other.
I think that's where it's gonna come to be honest with you.
He did.
Samantha is
he
gonna
did
snap
push her-
Diaz out of the way.
He did push her down, so I mean, there could be a brawl there.
It'll
Yeah.
probably be like grand finals between the two, and like whether or not, I don't know, he like punches her in the face or whatever, is whether or not he's becomes a bad or a good character. Something
She-
like that. I'm not
I
good at
have this-
articulating.
I have this weird theory. I want you guys to hear me out really fast. It's the only tangent I'm going to get into. I think the first half of the season, like Kreese and Johnny's will split off, right?
Mhm.
And Johnny will come to Daniel kind of begging, we need to stop him really fucking badly. Let's work together and try to stop him.
Oh man.
I
I
mean,
think first half of season, and then second half is just build up to even possibly Diaz still being on Kreese's team, but
I can kind of see it because
Yeah.
there was a moment where, and I forget like which episode it was, but it was a moment where Daniel and Johnny were like buddy buddy at one point. I mean,
think
they
it was a
were.
bar scene.
The bar scene, the car
It was
scene.
episode 9.
You could see that they have like similarities. He's like, Johnny tells Daniel, you like the same music I do, and he's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then they start having a bro moment. So I think they're gonna have this moment in season 2 where it's like, the true evil is here. We have to team up against him. Put our differences aside and try to band together and save these kids. So I think that might be the direction they might go into. I think initially they might be hostile again, and then it might just go down.
Yeah.
I think in some way it's gonna mainly just be only Kreese and Johnny. I mean, they've known each other the most after all.
Yeah, I can see a bit of that. Anyone else?
Hard.
Mr. Bain?
I think I'm good. I already mentioned what I need to. So we're going to go to question 5.
All right.
With the distribution of this series being through YouTube's YouTube Red program, how do you feel about Cobra Kai being here? I'm going to be honest. It takes Mindfield from being the only good show they had to being the second good show they have.
Minefield.
Yes, if you ever love Vsauce's videos, just a 30-minute long Vsauce video. It's fucking great. Every episode of it.
I've never heard of it, so I can't say.
Same.
It's fantastic. You should watch it if you have Red still.
I think YouTube Red would need a bigger push to get people to sub, because while the show's great, I don't think one's enough.
Yeah, that's
They said they're going to be taking things a lot more seriously and putting more on there, which this is a great first step.
So,
yeah.
I heard they're doing the same with the Popeye, treated like the Cobra Kai treatment.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah.
They have to put more to get me to sub because it shouldn't just be like Cobra Kai and Vine Sauce. It should be a lot more. I understand that YouTube Red gets rid of ads and stuff, but I could also use like uBlock or something and do that for free. So it needs more
Yeah.
incentive, in my opinion, to really make me buy into the service. It is cool that people can like subscribe for like a month, and then they can see like everything that might give them a opportunity to get on board. But I don't know.
Also, the price I'm not a fan of.
How much is it?
$12.99 per month.
Oh,
Like,
gee, I thought it
guys-
was 10.
Sounds like
that's-
Netflix. Sounds like
That's like
Yeah.
it's more than Netflix, and Netflix has a much bigger variety to ask for.
See, if you're like me, I have YouTube TV, which is their like competitor for like Sling TV and shit, where it's $40 a month, but you get a whole bunch of live channels and you get like an infinite DVR and shit.
Yeah.
And Cobra Kai and all the YouTube Red stuff's on there, which is nice. But yeah, this is a bigger push in my eyes for them to try to be serious against like Hulu and Netflix. Both of those have great fucking originals.
Yeah.
This is a really great step towards that.
Like I said, they need more variety to make me buy into their service. Like, if you just have like one TV show that I really like, I might just sub for free, check it out, and then cancel because my brain is gonna tell me like, there's not much here for me to subscribe.
I mean, it works for HBO. I know people who only sub to it like a few times a year just to watch Game of Thrones.
Jesus.
That's gonna
Yeah.
happen next year.
That's why I grabbed the free month for YouTube Red. I was like, I just want to watch Cobra Kai. Because, like, it's obvious they're trying to be more like Netflix, of course. But I, like, looked through their whole catalog, and I'm like, I am not interested in literally anything else. What am I going to watch? Step Up High Water? Fuck.
What was your side question, Ren?
If Cobra Kai is released on like maybe digital or Blu-ray, would you guys like that alternative instead?
Yes.
I would buy a Blu-ray
would.
already.
Blu-ray?
I'm lost
Yeah, Blu-ray would be good.
Like
I'm
I said,
down
I
for
would
that.
buy it for on Blu-ray.
Gimme.
Yeah, I would
But
buy that for season 2 like ASAP.
I think a nice alternative would be maybe YouTube Red gives you the episodes a week early, and then
Like
the
add
people
some
that
more
don't
to-
have and then the people that don't have YouTube Red get it like a week or two later with ads.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't see why they don't put like ads on it. They can make money that way.
I guess they're afraid of maybe like ad block or something.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I can see that.
I
Well, they
mean,
can
it's
just-
not like with Hulu where they can just lock your browser for using ad block.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They do that.
The fuck? That's a first. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hulu does that.
But unless you have
When
like
you're on-
the ad-free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they
I
have an
see.
ad-free subscription where it's like they're like, okay, we don't worry about it.
Oh, screw that.
Just
I'd rather
like-
take the ads.
Yeah, just put it on Blu-ray and I would buy it in like a heartbeat because I mean, as much as I love the fucking MCU Netflix shows, I hate that their Blu-rays take like forever to come out.
Wasn't
Like,
it 2
when-
years for a first season of fucking
Daredevil? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
honestly
it took
thought
2 more
af-
years later to get like season 2 and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's dumb, man. They already have the episodes out.
I mean, geez, even with like Starz and HBO shows, you at least get them a year later.
Well, I will say this. This is a really great attempt for them. They need more shows like this. Because
Yeah.
if they keep putting out high quality content like this, I will keep subscribed to fucking YouTube Red and shit.
I mean, it'd be. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I can definitely say that if they did put more quality on there, I would consider. But at this point, it's like, nah, I'd rather like watch it somewhere else. But this was really good. Like, I say, keep up the quality work, and people will come by. Also, give people like alternatives just in case they want to buy it on like Blu-ray, DVD, or digital.
Yeah, like don't. Yeah, like not like Netflix where it takes like 2 years. At least like a year or at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Wait before season 2 in case people see it like at the store and it's like, oh cool, Cobra Kai's on Blu-ray. I'll just watch it before season 2's out.
Yeah, don't be like the MCU. It takes fucking 3 years to see fucking Luke Cage season 1, and I'm like, oh my god, bro.
Although they'll fucking like other shows, they'll just put out almost instantly.
Yeah,
Fucking
Stranger-
13 Reasons
Stranger
Why I got a Bluray like 2 months after it released.
And that show sucks. What the
Exactly.
fuck?
Oh, wow.
It's probably because of some licensing deal with Netflix or maybe some other internal
Fist?
affairs with
No, man.
Marvel.
That shit got a second season.
You know, that reminds me. I don't think Iron Fist got a Blu-ray release.
No, because it was
Oh.
We don't talk about. Hang on, we don't talk about that one.
What?
Scott Buck.
It's forbidden.
It was worse than the Punisher in Netflix. The fuck?
Oh, it was way
I
worse.
like the Punisher.
They should
Me
do
too.
they should do a double release of Inhumans and Iron Fist.
Oh, now
No.
now you can fuck off.
Iron Fist wasn't that bad. Okay.
Okay, hang on.
It
Are we
was.
just gonna be wasted potential fucking pack?
Nigga, how you get bodied by Daredevil? Fuck out of here.
Iron Fist. What the fuck?
Okay, let's all right, let's wrap this up now, folks.
Yeah, let's go
I'm
back.
mad.
All right, to close this up, what examples from Cobra Kai can be taken to improve other TV shows and films that fail at the nostalgia trip reboots we see all the fucking time now? Except for Roseanne, because it's actually a good show. I would give Roseanne that.
Fuller House.
Yeah. Oh, what's on target?
It's-
No.
I think it's a
that's-
simple thing.
No,
Right.
Full House is how you make a show worse than it's it's first.
Exactly.
I don't think is it really worse than Full House? I mean, Full
Yes.
House was really
Yes,
good in the first
it is.
place.
Yeah, it
worse.
manages to be worse.
I
That's
hate.
better.
shocking.
I think what separates Cobra Kai from the others is that it actually feels like a true sequel, and that it
Right.
tries new things with the series. I mean, before in Karate Kid 1, we didn't know much about Johnny except that he's just a bully, and then they give him a lot more depth in here.
I think what it boils down to with Cobra Kai versus other reboots is just respect for the source material, you know? Like,
Yeah.
compare it to other crap that's come out these days, like Thundercats Roar, that's coming out and it looks fucking awful. Look, compare it to the Powerpuff Girls 2016, which is also fucking terrible.
Screw that crap, man.
They
Thundercats.
simply
No.
Too
they,
soon.
they simply don't like respect the source material at all, and the show does, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it even uses the score from the original films, especially with the Miyagi tributes.
I mean, for them to fuck up Dexter Lab next, calling it.
Oh,
Yeah.
please no.
Leave Gendy alone.
I
Thundercats Lab.
have to agree. Like, I just can't see how people fuck up the source material so bad, like Thundercats Roar, all this
Yeah.
other shit. Like,
Oh, Rise of the Ninja Turtles. Sorry, Ninja.
oh, well, yeah.
Raph is the leader.
When you don't respect the source material, that's when your show turns into shit, in my opinion.
Yeah. It feels like when you do like, I think Cobra Kai was crafted with love. I think it's somebody that actually loved the originals and they properly cared about them. They knew what they were making and they knew what they wanted to make. When you see shit like, I might even include Teen Titans Go in this. When you see shit like that, you see really it's just for the money. And I'm fine with things being made just for the money. But, when you see something with actual craft behind it, I'll say Cobra Kai has craft behind it. There's somebody that put time and effort and an understanding into it. You really can tell the sincerity of it.
Yeah, and in a way, I feel like it did bring in new interest for Karate Kid, considering it's been kind of a dormant franchise for a while now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another
2010 was the last movie with a name on it, so
they took what made the original Karate Kid that was great and everything, and they also added in new characters, new kids and shit. And they blend it in well. When people tend to make reboots, what they do is they take all these new characters and they just shit on the lore. I have to bring
Star
up
Wars.
this. Yeah, Star Wars is one, and DMC Devil May Cry is another, where a new
Almost every Capcom game.
a new character comes in and he's not as good as the original. So
Well, for those, it's where it just could have been titled a different thing. Like, even DMC Devil May Cry, if it was a different thing entirely, I wouldn't complain.
totally, but I also think there is brand loyalty. So people believe that all the people that are fans of this series will buy something because it has the name on the box.
Yeah.
So
Best example, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
No, hang on, nobody bought that one.
well, okay.
It shipped 1 million. They're just gonna fill
Well,
up the bargain bins.
Yeah, didn't Battleborn ship like 2 million?
I have
That's
no idea.
a
man.
really sad precedent, if so. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Marvel.
I do want to. I'm gonna add a little quick question at the end here.
okay.
If you remember, the original Karate Kid did spark a huge interest in karate.
Mhm.
Around the time it was kind of, and then a whole bunch of dojos opened, like about a year or two after the film came out, because the film was fucking huge.
Mhm.
Do you think that there might be a at least small, but a noticeable spike in dojos opening because of Cobra Kai?
It's possible, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Cobra Kai feels like it's just mainly made for fans of the old films. Though I can see it bringing in new people.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't
so.
think we touched on like the themes because I SJWs is not gonna like this show. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
not
this
gonna
is-
like it one bit at all.
that.
Did
Yeah.
Johnny call them out or something on the show?
Yeah, like Johnny just shat on the cyber bullies.
Yeah, he's like, you can tell he's like a person from the 80s, no doubt. He's like, cyberbullying, what's that? If we had a problem, we say it to their face. And I'm like, oh my god.
That is fact.
He don't even know what Facebook
He
is.
just shat on like internet trolls and SJWs.
I mean,
Ah.
Johnny is a person who still watches stuff like on old, like still watches 80 films on like a CRT.
Yeah, he does. So the themes of the show is really fucking good, and I'm glad they had the balls to like just have that question thrown out there to SJWs.
Okay. A tweet. I just posted a tweet from Tyler the Creator. Ren, can you read that?
It's like, how the fuck is cyberbullying real? A nigga just walk away from the screen like nigga just close your eyes.
That is Johnny's mentality, and it's fucking perfect.
Oh, sing that Christian Cage theme song. Just close your eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes.
God.
So yeah, some people won't like the show, but like I said, I'm also glad that they talked about these social issues because I mean they are real for a lot of people.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can
I mean-
relate better.
Even like stuff that goes on with bullying is pretty relatable. Like how none of the teachers do anything whenever the kids are getting bullied out in the open, and once the victims start fighting back, then they get in trouble.
I liked how the Valley 18 champion, he was basically a pacifist, but he was also fighting in the tournament. I'm like, what? Hold on, listen to this guy. He's like a pacifist.
Kick his
I
ass.
I can't lie. When that Xander kid just like busted out into a speech against hate, I laughed my ass off, and I don't even know why.
It just out of nowhere, just fucking hell.
Like
It was so perfect.
that kid was like the definition of a snotty brat.
Yeah, showman.
Dude, he was like the most skilled person there. I was like, holy fucking shit. You're like, you like peace and all that stuff. You like hugging trees, but you're flipping all over the place like Eddie Gordo.
That little kid from Cobra Kai, he's kicking
Hey,
right in the
Gordo.
Yeah.
But I think it had a good message and it had a good heart about it. It was not preachy. It wasn't up its own ass, which is so nice because there's so many fucking shows now where it's like, okay, we get it. You're socially conscious.
Well, yeah,
Never
they
know
didn't.
that.
It's at least good that they made Johnny and Daniel not one-dimensional.
Oh yeah,
Like there's flaws and good qualities about them.
Yeah.
and it's nice to see them together too.
It's not so black and white because you can see like Daniel, he's not really the goody two shoes you expect, and also Johnny is like his life is really screwed. So
Yeah.
I really like it, and he just like sits there and accepts it, but when it comes to what he loves the most, he tries to get it back, and I think that's what he does through Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
Or as some weird salesman in the show called it, Cobra K.
Cobra K.
They call it that?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
there's a scene with that.
Cobra K.
Cobra K.
Oh man, there was a lot of good.
Cobra. Okay.
There was some good jokes too. I really liked them.
Yeah.
The funniest
By the way,
one was the jerking off bit.
What
It's weird to think the guys who wrote the Harold and Kumar movies wrote this.
Really?
Oh, I
Really?
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see some dirty humor jokes in it, like
Yeah.
like how when Johnny drew a dick on Daniel's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Right into the mouth.
Okay, that was I can see it because then his wife said, no, I think he exaggerated. He said, "Well, look, hon, I have a billboard with like my dick in my mouth," and then he says she says, "Oh well, you can instead of eating dick, you can eat sausages," and I'm like, "Oh my fucking god!"
That shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny.
I mean, the Karate Kid movies did have adult humor sprinkled in there, so it doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
I think this one is a bit more mature. I can just tell by the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cussing and all that.
Uh-huh.
Well, and it makes sense because the original films were about 30 years ago. Yeah, kind of having a little older makes sense.
Yeah, growing into age. I totally understand.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably wrap this up. It's been a little long on this one.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna get to outros. I'm Bane for you. For YU at the end. You can find me on Twitter at that same handle. And Drillbit, where can I find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Drillbit777.
All right. Renegade, where can I find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at RenOperative_. You can find me on Pornhub as Mexican Loser 415, formerly named Kaneki.
Formerly Renegade.
Nope, sir. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative, and that's pretty much it.
All right,
Alrighty, then.
Hades, where can we find you?
Twitter, Hades_Manticore, and on YouTube, youtube.com/videogame. So that's me.
All right. Antihero, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at AHC3D. I'm just there on Twitter.
All right. Kanaki, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube under the same name as Google Order, and you can find Renegade at gaybook.org.
No, shut up. Shut up.
Okay.
Is that the new Facebook?
Damn.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah,
no
yeah, he's about to shove a fucking bookworm up his ass. So.
Man, my nigga, you made a gay website for
Nah,
Facebook.
he's
Come on,
gay.
dog.
He's gay.
Is that the
Right, make
gay
millions,
book,
my nigga?
bookworms?
Hurry up
Yes.
before he goes on Tinder on the
Man, you hear
podcast.
that stutter now?
Yeah.
Shut up.
All right. I will end this before we find out Ridden's past.
No, shut up. All of you are gay.
Damn.
Listen, Skype proves his past.
Well, Skype proves nothing. Skype is dead.
I don't know anything about Skype. I can't log into it anymore.
Yeah.
Bane
Sure.
downloads porn at like 2 kilobits a second.
Damn. 3 weeks
Alright.
later, and he's like, finally, I have the video.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Finally,
for an
my
image.
trap
That's for an
porn's
image.
arrived.
Oh.
Hang on, are you checking Ren's download history now?
I hate you.
I hate myself. All right. So this is the ending of the spoiler cast for the wonderful first season of Cobra Kai. We'll be here for the second one for sure. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.